Following total atomic annihilation, the rebuilding of this great nation of ours may fall to you. That's why we here at Vault Boys WV will take you on an oral tour of the beautiful state of West Virginia. There's no other place to be better prepared for the impending fallout. Now we go live to our team of experts.
Hello and welcome to Vault Boys WV, a mutated podcast crossbreeding our shared history in Appalachia with the post-apocalyptic state in Fallout 76. I am your card-carrying cryptozoologist, Dave Chaffins, and joining me is my favorite, son of a Mothman, Austin O'Connor. How you doing, Austin?
You switched it up on me there.
I did.
I started mouthing Country Road Scholar.
Country Road Scholar.
You switched it up. I think you knew I was doing it, too.
I think I watched you mouth the words, but then the look of surprise upon your face.
I want something different than son of a Mothman. I got to come up with something.
You can do what you just let me know what you want to be called.
I need to get accredited in something, like some sort of...
Yeah.
I'll come back to you.
You just well, see, here's the thing. So last week, I had mentioned that I wanted to have a certification in which we, if we ever had like an event or something and they had to introduce us, I wanted to be like, okay, they need to put something instead of just like podcaster. And I said, well, cryptozoologist.
My God.
So what I did was I went to the Academy of Paranormal Studies.
It's a real thing.
For, how much was it? $45.
You spent $45?
No, $25.
$25 on that?
I took a class. It was an accredited class that ended with a certificate of achievement with a diploma in
Did you walk?
Cryptozoology. Did I walk?
Did you walk?
I wanted to. Where would you walk for cryptozoology? Would we go in front of the Mothman statue?
Maybe we could set it up.
We could.
Is this gonna be like when you're on an airplane and someone's like dying? They're like, "Is there a doctor on board?" Like, what moment is there a moment in time where there's like, "Is there a cryptozoologist on board?" And that's just the moment that you wait for your whole life.
Yeah.
To just because I know you'll have that laminated diploma with you.
Yes.
And just be like, "Yes, actually, I am."
Yes.
I could see it.
So I've got a.
We need to map out moments that could happen. Well, that can be a segment one week.
I took a class on it, and a lot of it was old school cryptids. I'm talking about Gaelic folklore, a lot of Greek mythology, Japanese mythology.
Yeah.
Left out the anything from the 1900s, essentially.
Well,
which
that's
outside of Loch Ness Monster.
It's just a mistake.
So there was no Mothman. There was no Sheep Squatch. There was no Flatwoods Monster. There was no aliens whatsoever. So here's what my holy crusade is: we've got to make Mothman the center of the cryptozoology world.
Yeah,
I thought he was.
Well, you are about to lead that revolution.
I wanna be right on. I'm gonna tell people about the real, the holy gospel of the cryptozoology that I've got here.
Do you have a moment to talk about
our
Lord
sir.
and Savior, the Mothman?
Mothman. That's exactly what I'm thinking about.
That sounds like the Mothman cult in the basement of the museum in the game.
I wonder if they got $25 diplomas.
We're getting dangerously close to that.
Well, I mean, we are in the basement. We're in the bunker, as they call it.
That's true.
It's a little soundproofed in here.
A little bit.
We don't have much of amenities, though.
I love how it's soundproof, in terms of, for us, it's very beneficial because, it's just maybe not as much sound comes down. Maybe. I don't know.
Right.
But then there's just, this huge amp right next to my head.
Yeah, well, because now the basement used to be the live band practice room, and then I stopped doing that, and then it became the podcast room.
It's like that. What's that? The video from Real Bros of Simi Valley where he's like, "I'm just straight up not having a good time," and he puts that was you with the band. I feel like at the end there.
Yeah, that was. I want to get back
not having a good time.
I want to get back and playing music.
I want to play music as well.
Well, we should play music together.
We'll do.
Here's what we're gonna do.
We're gonna do a benefit concert with just the two of us in the basement, but it's gonna be. Proceeds go toward making Mothman the center of the cryptozoology world.
We can just start a band and we can Easter egg that would be the more official way to do it is Easter egg some cryptids in there.
Yeah, but that's
So we could sing about like driving out and dating our girlfriend in the 1950s, but then as we were driving home, oh, maybe there's Mothman at the end. That's in the bridge. Get it?
We're gonna move on.
All right. Well, how was your weekend? What have you been up to? What have you been doing here in the wide world of West Virginia?
What have I been doing? Just chilling, man.
Just chilling.
Just chilling.
Just hanging
killing.
Killing.
No, I don't really have any fun stories this week.
How's your training? I know you're training for the 5K. How's that going?
It's going all right.
That's in a few weeks,
it's,
right?
The 1st of June, yeah. I'll be in Charlotte for it. And let's just say that I am not where I want to be right now with it. I took a couple weeks off last month, and it's been rough getting back into it. I'm going to go run after this.
This is a good temperature right now.
Yeah, it's like 72, nice and a little breeze, but I've been running, and I've got my 5K time down a little bit more, so I'm okay with it. I had hoped to be a little bit quicker than I am right now. It's just I've been so busy. It's hard to.
You run if for those of you that play the game, you run from the Capitol,
yes,
back probably downtown, like where
I run from the Capitol to where that bridge is that goes.
Yeah, that goes across.
I don't know how to explain it.
There's like super mutants on it sometimes. Sometimes there's scorched.
Yeah, it's a lot further in real life. I run that.
If you want to know the scale of that, just map that one.
Actually, I've switched up my route. I run the other way down the river. So
okay,
like I would say in game like perspective, I run from like right in front of the Capitol down the river to like about where like Summersville is, like where New Gad would be. Like I run that way.
Oh, you've been running that way.
Yeah, I run down toward Kanawha City now.
That's cool.
Because there's less people. I don't have to deal with people.
That's true. I hadn't thought about that.
So I do that. So yeah, I run like that. That's my
You just don't want
route.
to. You've seen me too many times. You don't want to see my face.
I just get when I get down this way. There's so many families walking with strollers. And
we walk dogs there,
and
too.
It's all the time. I'm scaring people because they're not paying attention and they're going the same direction as me, and I'll like pop around them, and it's always like these little old women, and they just yelp at me, and I'm nervous that I'm gonna like accidentally kill one day, like she's gonna like have a heart attack or something, and I don't want to be responsible for that.
Well, I don't want you to be responsible.
Yeah,
I'm glad that you're making the responsible.
That'd put a damper in my 5K training.
That would definitely be just a bit of a damper.
So yeah, I don't know, but it's been peaceful going the other way. I get a little paranoid sometimes that someone's gonna murder me, but you know, life's a gamble, right?
Life is a gamble. So you run down to the Boy Scouts place down there, like the Elks Lodge.
I normally run to that bridge that goes to Kanawha City. Sometimes I go a little bit further, but I'll run down to that. It's a mile down and a mile back. So I normally hit about 2.5 miles. So I don't know. If there are any listeners that are big runners, I would just greatly appreciate any sort of like advice for staying motivated because your boy is struggling.
Yeah. Is that like scrawny and struggling?
No, I used to be so good at running, man. I mean, I was only 19, 20 at the time, but it's amazing these 6 years, the difference it's made just in like getting back into it. At that time, I could run for like a month.
Yeah.
And then at that point, I would be running like 6 miles, 7 miles. Easy.
Yeah, you're feeling like Uncle Rico.
Yeah, now I'm running like 3 and I just want to pass out. I don't know. And it's actually the weird thing is it used to be my legs that would hurt when I'd run. It's my breathing now. Like I get my lungs are just like on fire. Yeah. And that used to be I was just all day.
Things get harder as you get older.
I don't smoke. I don't do anything like that. So I have no idea what the deal is.
I had pain. I did cross country for a year in high school, and I had pain running that and my like ankle. And then I like took a long, good look at my legs, and I have two different placements of my ankle.
Yeah.
So running for me, I have to get like my shoes that I actually work out in. There's probably like a good like 2 inches of like I could be wearing Kiss boots. There's so much support going on there.
Yeah, but it'll be fun. And the race, like I said, is the Keep Pounding 5K. So I've been raising money, and all the proceeds go to the Levine Cancer Institute and Levine's Children's Center, and all of it goes toward cancer research. So I'm excited about it. It's going to be a fun time. But while I'm thinking about this, I had something I wanted to say, not related to the race. I have spoken to Dixie.
Okay. Whoa. Okay.
I've spoken to Dixie.
Let's hear this.
We need to get her on the show.
Okay, that can happen.
And I think that we can do it.
I think we can.
I think that she's willing to do it. She joked with me that she wouldn't, but then she joked some more, and I told her that I was going to get her on the show, and she said, we will see.
It's the family business.
So I think that we need to record an interview with her.
Yeah.
And maybe next time I'm there, we do like a call setup thing, and we talk to her. And we record it for the show.
I mean, you can.
I know she's not going to come up here to Charleston. So
No, she's not going. Well, she doesn't need to come up here. I went down and interviewed. Remember, I went down to my family's house and just had the equipment and brought it down. All it is just the two mics and the mixer. Is that what you call it?
Yeah.
Recorder, amplifier. I don't know.
But
I should know these things, but I don't.
We've had people ask and say that we need Dixie on the show.
We do need. I mean, that's true.
And there are a lot of stories that we could tell. There's a lot coming to mind right now of old Dixie. What all have I told? I've told the story about how she terrified us with bloody bones.
Yeah.
Told the story about her confusing the words homophobe and germaphobe.
That's a recent one.
To
which the effect of the podcast, like that, it was so live and in the moment that it affected Sunday school at the local
I heard about
West Virginia church.
I heard about that.
Yeah, I told you that.
Did I tell you the story about? No, actually, I can't tell that. She'd kill me. There are so many. Have I told you about all the times I accidentally broke her toes?
Yeah, playing the Nintendo, and then you
she yelled out, "God bless a milk cow."
Yeah.
I'll never forget it.
Yeah,
that's one of the most vivid memories I have of my childhood. I don't know what that says about me. That's
just think about God bless a milk cow.
I just think about her like just rolling around in pain, shouting, "God bless a milk cow." Mm-hmm. There was that. I don't know. There are a lot that I want to tell. But there is some profane language in the stories that she said that I don't think she'd appreciate me sharing. And
we can mark that episode as explicit.
Yes, as an explicit episode.
Yes.
The woman is an American treasure, though.
And she's not just an American treasure now. She's an international treasure.
I really want to introduce her to the world.
Yeah.
And I think
that needs to happen.
Yeah, I think so too. She's like told me stories. I mean, she's seen it all, man. Like, she's told me stories about like seeing Frank Sinatra in like Atlantic City when she worked there when she was younger. Like, she's got some tales like that. It's kind of
your
wild.
world.
Yeah. And she went to Marshall, and she was actually there when they changed to Marshall University instead of Marshall College.
Yeah. She
was like there. There's the famous picture of the kids holding the newspapers. She was like 2 people down from that picture from being in it. She's a West Virginia treasure, but as you said, I think she's an international treasure.
Well, now she is.
She's crossed the pond. She's over there, and
in several directions.
Yeah. But yeah, she's a terrific grandmother, but Lord have mercy, the stories that we have about her. Did I tell you? I told you the M&M story, right? The M&Ms, and she ate them. Did I not tell you that?
No, I don't think
this is. I'll tell you this, and then
we'll get our Dixie story.
Yeah,
of the
and
day.
then we'll move on into like the actual Fallout stuff here. Nana is not necessarily now as much as she used to, but she used to take Ambien a lot.
Okay.
Like a lot. Like every night she was taking Ambien, and it really wasn't healthy, but she still did it because she had a lot of sleeping problems. And she was at my aunt's house one time in Richmond, and she was, I believe, sleeping downstairs on like the pull-out sofa, and she woke up in the middle of the night, and she had taken an Ambien, so she was kind of loopy. Her big thing is she I call them her midnight strolls because she'll get up after she's taken an Ambien like 2 hours later and go get food in the kitchen. Like always. Goes and gets like some cookies or something sweet. So she goes and she gets a bag of M&Ms. And she goes back in to where she was sleeping and she lays down and she kind of props herself up and she starts eating these M&Ms. And she fell asleep like in the middle of eating it all. And so my aunt came downstairs the next morning, and all she sees is Nana like this, like head down, like sitting upright, like propped up in the bed with her head like just down, and she had fallen asleep with M&Ms in her mouth, so it was like they like melted and it like ran down the sides of her mouth, and it looked like blood because it was like chocolate and it dried, so it looked like blood. So my aunt genuinely thought that she had just died in her sleep and like had some terrible, like something happen. So she's like shaking her, like trying to wake her up. And it was she just ate M&Ms. That was the story. She legitimately thought she was dead. Like it was the whole thing. Nope. She just was in an Ambien daze and ate a bag full of M&Ms and fell asleep with all of them in her mouth.
She could write episodes of Punk'd for Ashton Kutcher.
Yeah, well, she could write a book about her life, and I think everyone would buy it. So I'm going to talk to her about getting her squeezed into an episode. I think.
I'm down with that.
I think that would be a good idea.
I'm down with that. That would be a good idea. So speaking of the podcast, we have an announcement here that we are going to make.
This is our final episode.
No, I'm just kidding. Next week, we've got an episode coming out. But Memorial Day, we are taking off. And then after Memorial Day, we're going bi-weekly. So bi-weekly doesn't mean twice a week, even though some people think it does. In my brain, it means every other week. We just don't want to get burnt out on it, you know? We've got all of these cryptid subjects. We want to be excited. We want to do more research because, like, honestly, my best stuff comes when I'm thinking on something.
Yes.
You know, and towards the end of the week and the weekend, like, I'm not really thinking about cryptids. I'm not really doing much thinking on the podcast.
Yeah.
During the week, I tend to, but on the weekends, it's like,
we'll have
whatever about it.
Better thought, more thought out content.
Right. Mm-hmm. But here's the thing: if you're in town, though, we got to get together. We got to play some music. That's what we got to do on this weekend. The weeks we got off, you got to come over here.
I want to play music. I need.
We're gonna pick a tune.
Slapping that bass, man.
You need
That's
to be
one of my
slapping that
favorite
bass.
Paul Rudd.
What do you think you want to play? What do you think?
I was just thinking like old like vaudeville tunes.
Oh man, yeah. Dude, I know
Selena can like tap dance while we play.
Yeah, and
I think that'd be cool.
We can. Oh man, that's a whole thing.
Yeah,
we'll need canes.
Yeah,
we'll need top hats.
True. We could be like strictly like an Eddie Vedder cover band. Just the two of us.
Just.
Yeah, we could just.
Eddie Vedder meets Garth Brooks. What do you think about that?
Have you heard about Garth Brooks' like alter ego?
No.
What's his name? It's like Chris Gaines or something like that.
Yeah.
It's like a whole thing that I think there's a conspiracy that they created this entire character that's like, I think more of like a rock, like emo rock star.
Yeah.
But it's still like Garth Brooks. Mm-hmm. And like they were going to have like two musicians with like alter egos to like make more money and like be able for him to like explore
himself.
Other like genres of music. But I don't think it's ever been proven for sure that it was him. But it was like a whole thing. Yeah. Maybe
could have been.
We could.
That's in the alternate.
Yeah.
Maybe Chris Gaines is a cryptid, you know?
Dude, it's like a really weird conspiracy. Yeah. Yeah, just real quick, Chris Gaines was a one-off fictional rock persona created as an alter ego for Garth Brooks to explore rock and roll styles far removed from his success as a country singer. And he was only active in 1999. And they say that his origin was Brisbane, Australia.
Wow.
So, I don't know, man. There's this
whole thing. Chris Gaines. What happened to Chris Gaines?
Chris Gaines.
Who watches The Watchmen?
My favorite thing was the picture of him.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's for sure Garth Brooks.
Yeah, that's definitely Garth Brooks. Yeah.
But he's got like the little like soul patch,
Yeah.
like the emo soul patch with
Yeah.
like the straightened hair over his
Yeah,
eyes.
the picture, it's like the classic emo hair with a little soul patch.
Yeah. It's
Wait, Chris, I've seen Chris. So you're telling me that? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. That's the same person.
Yeah, man.
Chris Gaines.
Chris Gaines is Garth Brooks. Yeah.
Yo,
We're gonna like not wake up tomorrow. They're gonna send their hitmen after us for this.
This is wild times.
Yeah.
This is wild times.
I don't know.
I don't
man.
know why we're scrolling through these pictures of the emo hair of Chris Gaines, and Joe Rogan keeps appearing.
Well, it's because Joe Rogan had Chris Stapleton on, and they talked about Chris Gaines apparently.
What did
So,
Chris Stapleton think of that?
I don't know. I'll have to watch it. I'm gonna order this shirt though.
He's playing. Chris Stapleton's coming to. I think he's coming to Charleston. here
Yeah,
soon.
I wanted to see him, man, but the tickets for upper level are like $170 now.
Hey, Zeus and a cracker.
Yeah,
man.
I mean he's big. He played Mountain Stage down here at the Capitol a few years ago, right before, like literally the week
Yeah.
before he won like his first set of awards when he was getting really big. He played Mountain Stage. So
Well, aren't him and Tyler Childers big buddies or something?
I don't think so. Not that I've heard. I think that they know each other, but they're not big buddies. I could be wrong. I know Tyler Childers just signed with Sony though,
Yo,
which is big.
what up? Get
And
that Spider-Man album out.
He has an announcement tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. and I think it's going to be a new album. And I, for one, am pumped. If you haven't listened to Tyler Childers, go listen to Tyler Childers. 'Cause
that
he's
new Ona album though. Speaking of West Virginia
amazing.
artists,
We're getting deep into the West Virginia. Ona is that out? You've listened to it?
I haven't had a chance to. No, we listened to the. It was like 3 songs that they released or something.
Well, they
like
did.
that.
Yeah, they did. My favorite, I think, was Summer Candy. It was really good.
Yeah.
And then they had Young Forever. I think those are the only 2 they released, and then they just released the album. So
Ona.
Ona, O-N-A, like the town in West Virginia. They are really, really good. I don't know anybody that doesn't like them.
Yeah.
Really, really good dudes. But Tyler Childers is also, he's from Kentucky, but he lived in West Virginia / lives in West Virginia. I don't know. Got to start in West Virginia. We've talked about him before. We did that.
Yeah,
like,
we've done
music
so.
spotlight
He
early.
has been a recurring character.
Yeah, Tyler Childers, very, very, very good musician. So go listen to him.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into Fallout stuff.
All right, Fallout stuff is very short today. Very short, incredibly short. I haven't really. I played for now. Now here's the thing. I did play for a little bit. Well,
Yes.
first let me get into the news. I'm getting ahead of myself here. The news had a new Inside the Vault.
Yes.
Main thing is there's a new legendary vendor coming tomorrow. This is like one of the few times that we get to talk about something that isn't already out or like we're with a new
Or
cycle.
like before it.
Yeah.
Say his name 3 times fast.
Well, it's not his name. It's her name.
Her name. Sorry.
Her name.
Say her name. 3 times
It's
fast.
known as the Purveyor,
Yeah.
but also known as Merg or Mermerg.
Yep.
Mermerg.
It reminds me of the Ermagerd.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Ermagerd, turds and derbs.
Ermagerd.
We said that so much in college. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I remember.
Ermagerd.
That was like the early days of memes.
Oh,
we
yeah.
really saw like the complete birth and rise of memes.
Yeah. We're the meme generation.
What a time.
It's like how people, yeah, man. It's like Mama Merk Murph. They got like Fallout 4, you got Murmur Merk me, and then this one you got Mama Merk Merk.
Oh man.
So she's a vendor that you essentially trade legendary script, which you gain for scrapping your legendary weapons. Based on a random roll system of either 1, 2, or 3 stars, and that's including ranged, melee, and armor. Those are the things. And then the last one I thought was interesting, which is like a 3-star roll that's for Mama Merg's surprise or something like that.
Merg.
I don't know if her name is Mama Merg, but I like to think of her as
We're
Mama
calling
Merg.
her.
Mama
That's what we're
Merg.
calling her.
Yeah.
Screw it.
It's not just Merg, it's Mama Merg.
Mama Merg.
She wears gardening gloves.
That's hot.
Yeah, it's good. She's got like this nice little hood.
Yeah.
She's looking nice.
Sweet. All right.
She's gonna sell some good stuff.
Sweet.
And then patch 9.5 comes out on May 21st. No real details on what that has. Probably some, guess what, bug fixes. That'll come out on May 21st. Other than that, that's really all the news for this week.
That's the
News.
I'm dabbing. Nobody can see me dabbing right now and
He's dabbing.
hitting the whoa.
What?
Whoa! You never seen that?
No.
That's what the kids are doing, man. Whoa!
I
But
tell
gotta
you
make
what,
the sound effect when you
people
do it.
are going to learn a lot about cryptids and what the kids be doing.
Yeah, they go, whoa!
like-
Nobody can see me do it, and it's sad that they can't.
It's like you're driving the bus, but you're stopping at the
no,
same
it's
time.
like you gotta like whoa! You gotta make that noise with it too. Whoa!
Oh.
Sounded like what's the dude from The Simpsons? What was his name? The clown. It makes me think of maybe it's not from The Simpsons. I mean, there's a clown in The Simpsons.
Right.
Whoa!
I'm not.
That
following.
might not be anything.
I'm not following.
I might be
I'm not
imagining.
following you down that
Whoa! All that sugar in that LaCroix
all
just
that
really got me
LaCroix,
going.
man, yeah, you're
Hey,
killing
buddy.
it up. So I've played a little bit this week. I've been getting my got my tadpole badges, working on my possum badges, which is talking about
Yeah.
this is like real funny. I don't know, working on my possum badges. You know, gotta get my badges, get my possum rank.
Also, side note, I just I didn't really elaborate. I just said, "Hey, buddy," and then didn't say anything. But Dave's dog walked down. I didn't want him to think that I was looking at you like, "Hey, buddy."
Hey, buddy.
As
No.
you started saying
well,
that.
the dogs come in and out. That's
Yeah.
the magic of this.
If you randomly hear like something sniffing,
Yeah.
or you hear me just go, "Hey, bud,"
If we ever do
there's
like
dog present.
a video format, it'll just it's kind of like Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, you know.
Right.
It comes in, people come in, people come out. Mm-hmm. It's a whole thing.
Yep.
They get to look at what we look like after work, like a bunch of white dudes sitting here in our button-down shirts with our sleeves rolled up, you know.
Just casual.
Just casual.
Super casual.
So I played a little bit this week getting those badges. I played with a listener from the podcast, Jeremy Jonger, and I think I that's his PSN.
It's a dope name, though. I like it.
Yeah.
Power move.
Power
name.
And he was helping me out getting some badges. One of them was you had to revive somebody while they're in the water. So we went to that water park into a kiddie pool, and we waited until a scorched could kill him. And then I revived him once the scorch did that. And then I did that for another listener to the podcast later on. I was like, I've got the idea of how to do
Teamwork.
this. Got to go to the kiddie pool at the water park and get
You
killed.
are a visionary.
Well, so worked through that. Got my backpacking it up.
Yeah.
Squatting goggles open outside Charleston now because,
Right.
you know.
I don't
you know
have
how
any
it goes.
animosity toward the squat and gob anymore.
That's
You
good.
know why? Because I've
It's
learned,
an establishment.
I've learned just to turn the other cheek.
That's good.
You know?
Things are there's something that's always going to be there.
Yeah.
And it's the spirit of the squat and gob.
Yeah. Well, you know, I haven't played Fallout lately because I've actually been really trying to better myself currently on the soccer pitch. Yeah. So I play for Tottenham Hotspurs. Starting forward, it's not a big deal or anything, but scoring at least a goal a game.
Oh, I've been playing some FIFA.
Yeah. Our buddy Steven, he would really appreciate that.
Yeah, I've been playing that FIFA. Well, that's
No, this is like real life. I
you've been
soccer
playing for the
star. Tottenham
Spurs.
Hotspurs.
Hot Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs. Yeah, that's what they say.
Why did
over
they
there.
name their things after cowboy boots? Because
I don't know,
cowboy
dude,
boots
we're the best.
are American, dude.
I think it's like I don't know what I don't know. I'm new to the soccer world. I played in high school, but like the professional soccer world, I'm getting caught up on.
Well, guess what? That's not related to Fallout, so you get a strike.
Okay, well, guess what?
What?
I don't care. We're going to talk more about FIFA. So this is the FIFA hour. So with Tottenham, they just won. I'm just kidding. We're not going to get into that.
I was wondering how far you were going to go with that.
I could have gone quite a ways.
I'll let you go. It's
I
like,
was gonna.
It's like when you
okay.
when the dog runs after the post truck and he
Listen,
bites it, you know.
I was planning on going really far with that, but then I realized how little I know about soccer. So I was just taking my L there and just letting you know I had nothing else to say.
Oh, well, with that, we will get into our next segment.
Welcome back, dear listeners. It's time once again to put aside all you think you know, all you believe to be true. Time to open your mind to the strange, bizarre, and sometimes terrifying world that exists in the shadows and fringes of our own, where myth, legend, and rumor are made real. Yes, it's time for more thrilling tales from the West Virginia hills.
Austin, this week we are going to talk about a creature that is found in West Virginia that I think has had some inspirations on a particular creature in Fallout. but upon further research, figured out that they're very different
Yes.
in how they work. This week, I started thinking about, okay, how can I make an episode around a Gulper? And so the Gulpers in Fallout 76 are giant
Gulper.
mutated salamanders.
Gulper.
Their skin, Gulper.
Gulper.
Their skin is encoded in thin. Say it again.
Gulper.
Thank you. Their skin is coated in a thin mucus, and their coloration is blotchy and uneven. They stand with a hunchback around 6 feet tall, walk upright on their hind legs when moving slowly or standing still.
Gulper.
They run around using all 4 legs and are able to outrun a non-mutated human. If a player character gets too close, they can pounce and swing their massive clawed hands, dealing significant damage to unarmored player characters.
Look at that Gulper. Just bouncing around.
Gulper?
The Gulper.
The Gulper?
That little Gulper is bouncing. Look at that Gulper.
That's how we say Gulper in West Virginia.
There's
a Gulper.
There's a Gulper.
It reminds me of Gomer from
There's a Gulper.
Andy
Griffith
Griffith. Yeah.
Gulper.
Which is the classic.
Well,
I don't know how Andy Griffith, we need that Don Knotts statue. You got the Mothman statue, and now we got Don Knotts statue. We need to go get a picture in front of Don Knotts statue.
That's true.
I've
seen it. It's very nice.
I haven't seen it. I've
know what
actually
else?
been in, I've driven by Morgantown
Yeah.
a number of times.
Morgantown's a cool city.
Well,
You don't really feel like you're in West Virginia, but okay.
back to the Gulper.
Gulper. A Gulper.
So I'd originally wanted to talk about Hellbenders, which I thought were more of an
Yes.
inspiration for Gulpers because they're very specific to West Virginia.
Listen, those things, they really freak me out.
Yeah, they freak you out?
Yeah, they really do. I think they're like, it's weird though, because I think they're really cute,
Yeah?
but they terrify me at the same time.
Yeah.
Just because I know they're
like
real.
chihuahuas.
I know they're real.
Oh, yeah, you know that there's
Because I know there's no like questioning. And the thing is, like, I enjoy a lot of times when I hike or I'm out in nature doing whatever, that I'm near a lot of creeks and rivers and stuff. And that's where they are. And I mean, they hide, which is another thing. I don't like that. I don't like that they hide.
You don't like no.
I don't like thinking, oh, they could be down there. But I don't know. There's a lot of misconceptions about them.
Right. So the Hellbender, the name Hellbender itself, we're of course talking about a local salamander too. I think it's mainly just like you find the most concentrations in Pennsylvania and West Virginia. Pennsylvania also, they are trying to step on our game, and they made him the state freaking animal.
The Hellbender?
Yes. So they have not only
have our sloth.
they have the mega sloth. They have that fossil, and now they were like, oh, you know what? Hellbenders are a cool thing. We kind of got those. Well, let's make them the state animal.
Messed up,
Fooling
man.
around. Guess what our state animal is?
At least ours is powerful.
Brown bear.
Thought it was black bear.
Whatever. It's bear. It's bears.
Hold up, because this is actually really bad if I don't know.
This is a black bear. I know the state bird is a cardinal, and the state tree is a dogwood. Because guess what?
Bear, yeah.
Virginia, that's the same situation.
You know the state flower?
Rhododendron.
Boom. Look at you.
I don't know. Guess what the state flower of Virginia is?
What?
Rhododendron.
It is?
I'm just making it up. I don't know, but I know that it's the same tree and bird. So we get a lot of cardinals back here. We have a dogwood out in the front yard here. We're repping. I don't have a black bear on hand.
Yeah.
But I wish I did. That'd be
What
cool.
other like state somethings do we have?
We've got I think it's just state flower, state tree, state
There's a state
animal.
song.
There's a state song, which
This is just right off the top of my head.
It's not country roads.
This is just right off the top of my head. I'm not reading this. Oh, the West Virginia hills, how majestic and how grand. I'm not reading this. With their summits bathed in glory like our Prince Emmanuel's land. That flows. Those are, you know what that is? Bars.
Bars.
Those are bars.
We got bars.
Is it any wonder then that my heart with rapture thrills as I stand once more with loved ones on those West Virginia hills? Get Dixie around and she'll sing that for you. Swear. She'll just start singing songs. Between that and We Are the Sons of Marshall, she'll sing that whole thing.
Oh, man.
For like out of nowhere. Like we'll just be sitting there.
The only thing we have in Virginia Tech that we sing is Hokey Pokey.
Yeah. And you just say, gobble, 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 Gulper.
Gulper?
Gulper?
So Hellbenders. Back to
Hellbenders.
Hellbenders.
I think that it's messed up that Pennsylvania gets
Pennsylvania
those.
is stepping on our
That's
freaking game.
messed up, man.
I about had it.
Well, the
with them.
game was almost made about Pennsylvania too. Maybe they're just like,
What is this?
like that's just I don't know, man.
This is nonsensical.
Yeah, it is.
This is.
I had a guy recently tell me how much Pennsylvania was like West Virginia, though. Like the guy that's from Pennsylvania, he was like, "Bud, you get up into the northern part of Pennsylvania. This is a terrible northern accent, but he was like, you get up into the northern part of Pennsylvania, you get up in the mountains, man. You feel like you're in West Virginia."
Well,
I was like, "Well, you go into West Virginia, you also feel like you're in West Virginia. I don't really want to go up to northern Pennsylvania." But
well, you know, central and western Pennsylvania are kind of the same as. Yeah. It's like a mix of Ohio and.
I was like, "Well, I've been to Pittsburgh." He was like, "Oh, buddy, come on now. That's not Pennsylvania. That's not the real Pennsylvania." I was like, "Oh, okay." I was like, "All right, man."
I'll have coworkers that go up a lot to Philly and go up there, but then the office is in Camden that they go to.
Yeah,
it's a whole shtick. Anyway,
my favorite thing about Philly, real side note, is that they say "wooder."
Wooder?
You can go get a glass of wooder. They say it like that. It
Oh
just cracks me
no!
up.
Oh no!
And their O's, like Angelo Paolantonio. They say it like that. That cracks me up. All right, but we're back. We're getting off topic. I'm getting off topic.
City of Brotherly Love. All right.
Yes.
Hellbenders.
Yes.
Back to it.
How
So
many times have we done that now today?
we're just like all over the place. That's
yeah.
fine. It's whatever. It's middle of the week. It's always middle of the week though. So the name Hellbender probably comes from the animal's odd look. One theory claims the Hellbender was named by early settlers in West Virginia, who thought it was a creature from hell where it's bent on returning. So
that's kind of hard.
It wants to like bend down into because it hides under rocks and stuff. It wants to go back to hell.
But if you think about it, like maybe I don't know. Like, out of all the names you could have in terms of just, like, wanting to sound, like, really tough and just, like, kind of badass, Hellbender.
Hellbender.
Like, there are things called butterflies, man. Like,
Yeah.
it's, like, the softest thing.
Hellbender. That's like what you name your motorcycle.
Yeah. Hellbender. That's, like...
That's like the next dragon. Like, what you're gonna name your dragon. This is Hellbender right here.
Hellbender. That's, like, a sword on Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Like I feel like that would be my sword's name, Hellbender. But no, it's just like a slimy little lizard.
Well, apparently another rendition says that the undulating skin of a Hellbender reminded observers of horrible tortures of the infernal regions.
That just took a really dark turn.
So just the look of it reminds them of.
I mean,
of something terrible.
They're not wrong.
No.
But that was a really dark turn.
So they are indeed harmless aquatic salamanders. So the Hellbender has a few characteristics that make it distinguishable from other native salamanders, including a gigantic dorsoventrally flattened body. That word got me tripped up. Dorsoventrally. I'm learning all kinds of things. See, this is the degree helping me out right now.
Yeah.
A gigantic, dorsoventrally flattened body with thick folds traveling down with the sides.
Yes.
A single open gill slit on each side and hind feet with 5 toes each. It's very important. That's what I've learned in Hellbenders. How do you tell a Hellbender from another salamander? 5 toes. They got 5 toes.
Yes.
That's the situation.
Yes.
So the Hellbender salamander is considered a habitat specialist, has adapted to fill a specific niche within a very specific environment, and is labeled and is labeled as such. I tell you what, reading today is very hard. I'm having a lot of trouble.
Unique New York.
Unique New York. And is labeled as such because its success is dependent on the constancy of dissolved oxygen, temperature, and flow found in swift water areas, which in turn limits it to a narrow spectrum of stream/river choices. As a result of the specialization, Hellbenders are generally found in areas with large, irregularly shaped, and intermittent rocks and swiftly moving water. While they tend to avoid wider, slow-moving waters with muddy banks and or slab rocks at the bottom, undergo. That's what they tend to I guess get with, and with all the rapids and all the different stuff and all the different creeks with bends in them. Bends, get it? You know, they tend to stick to that water area. Another fact that I had found interesting was they go through a metamorphosis. So they start as a larva. But after this metamorphosis, hellbenders must be able to absorb oxygen through folds in their skin, which is largely behind the need for fast-moving water, and oxygenated as well. If a hellbender ends up in an area with slow-moving water, not enough of it will pass over its skin in a given time, making it difficult to garner enough oxygen to support necessary respiratory functions. A below favorable oxygen content can make life equally difficult.
Wow.
I didn't know that. That was something I thought was interesting.
Yeah, I thought they were basically just lizards that liked wet areas, but they literally need water to live.
They have to be in fast-moving, heavily oxygenated water.
Yes. No. It's just it's a strange creature. I mean, there's so much about it to me is like odd. And apparently, like, they don't really bite people, and they're really nice. They have a lot of like small teeth. I guess they're bite.
Very shy, but they don't bite. They don't bite anybody.
Yeah,
they're
I
very
guess they
territorial.
could, but it's just like they're like pretty chill. I guess if you get them,
they tend to stick to a habitat and stay there. So like even other hellbenders, they don't allow in there. If they have like a zone, they post up.
Very territorial.
Yeah,
I would say that we've been around many of them in our lives and just not
known it.
We don't see them. But yeah, it's a strange. I don't know, and like their eyes situation seems really strange to me because like in all the pictures, I guess they're so dark you can barely see that they even really have eyes. I don't know, but I did not know what a hellbender was until like 2 years ago. I'd never heard of it, and then I went to a place that I don't know if you've been there. Maybe you've been there. I know you're going to be going there.
I know. Well, if it's in Davis, West Virginia, we're going up there here in the next few weeks.
Yes, there's a place in Davis, West Virginia called Hellbender Burritos. That was where I first learned about it because I go there and I was like, oh, that's an interesting name, Hellbender Burritos. And then they've got like the lizard-looking whatever on the sign and everything. And then, like at that point, I was like, well, what's a hellbender? I didn't understand. I just thought it was like a name.
It's a name.
Yeah, that was like their mascot, and it didn't have anything to do with it. But yeah, so that's kind of cool that, and I mean, it's a very popular, if you're ever in Davis, go to Hellbender Burritos.
Right.
Good grief, it's good. But I think it's cool that they embraced that. That's a very unique thing to choose as a mascot. And I've had a few friends that have told me, like, I didn't know what they were either until I went to that place. So look at that. Hellbender Burritos, just enlightening the masses.
Enlightening the masses. Telling everybody what the situation is.
But yeah, they freak me out, man. The Hellbenders freak me out. I don't know.
So it's interesting, I think, what salamanders have been particularly called in folklore before, which they are normally associated with fire. So St. Augustine in City of God used the example of salamanders to argue for the possibility of humans being punished by being burned in eternal flame in purgatory. He wrote, "If, therefore, the salamander lives in fire, as naturalists have recorded, and if certain famous mountains of Sicily have been continually on fire from the remotest antiquity until now, and yet remain entire, these are sufficiently convincing examples that everything which burns is not consumed." Also, a newt is a type of salamander, and they are both traditionally associated with witchcraft. In William Shakespeare's famous play Macbeth, the witches used the eye of a newt as the first ingredient stirred in their cauldron. However, the famous line in Macbeth is actually referring to a species of plant. Eye of newt refers to mustard, which reiterates the link between salamanders and fire, as mustard seeds are used as a fiery spice. So I think it's interesting that we have these salamanders that are associated with heavy flowing moving water in North America, and then the salamanders in old Europe are associated with like fire and volcanoes and like for the mythicality of it, are considered to be fire beasts, like dragons.
Reptiles it's just a strange.
See, but salamanders aren't reptiles; they're amphibians.
They are, aren't they?
Yeah.
But they just look like
That's why they get confused, and why people have associated them with fire. But they actually are more like frogs than they are.
I tell you what, man,
lizards.
Some people don't think it be like it is, but it
do.
But it do.
Yeah.
I know. I mean, reptiles. What I don't know. Anything that looks like a reptile is going to probably freak me out.
Hellbenders also would be fans of the show because they like to cannibalize their own eggs.
True. Well, man, Hellbenders, just chill out.
Just
bro.
chill out.
Just take it easy, man.
Yeah.
Just take it easy.
So I have a game that I want to play with you with Hellbenders in particular. Okay. We're gonna rank their vernacular names.
Okay.
And I don't know if you've read any of the vernacular names, but I'm gonna list them for you, and you're gonna help rank them.
Okay.
So their vernacular names is what they refer to colloquially across multiple sightings.
Okay.
First one, Snot Otter.
Oh, that's a strong contender already.
I know, that's coming out of the gate. That's coming out of the gate hard.
Setting the bar high.
We've got Lasagna Lizard.
It's like I like the way it plays. I like the way it rolls off the tongue, but I'm not sure.
But if you look at Hellbenders, they kind of look like those long lasagna noodles wet. You know?
Do.
You know?
They do. So we've got Snot. What was the first one?
Snot Otter.
Snot Otter, Lasagna Lizard. Lasagna Lizard flows off the tongue the best.
That's pretty good.
Snot Otter is pretty good.
Devil Dog. I don't necessarily like Devil Dog.
That sounds like a defensive tackle's nickname on like the 2007 like Florida Gators starting line. Like I don't know why that just came to mind, but I took that way too far. All right, so we're gonna move on from that one.
Mud Devil.
Mud Devil. That makes me think about Bobby Boucher and the Mud Dogs. And how he showed up at halftime and the Mud Dogs won the Bourbon Bowl.
Here's one that I thought was wild. Grampus.
Grampus makes you think
like
of like
Krampus, but Grandpa.
Yeah,
Grampus.
Listen, so far Snot Otter's got a resounding
Snot Otter
lead.
and Lasagna Lizard are looking good. Now here's a good one. Allegheny Alligator.
Yo,
the Allegheny Alligator.
Yep, that's it.
That's a good one.
That's
right
the
there.
one.
That's a really good one. We used to talk about in oh gosh, I had to do one of those driver remediation courses because I was dumb and 16 and drove too fast.
You know. You.
But the teacher for the class, it's always really funny. Those guys are like, chilling out. But always called tires on the side of the road in West Virginia because we have a lot of tires because trucks blow them out all the time. Yeah. Call those West Virginia crocodiles.
West Virginia crocodiles.
Yeah, so that reminds me of...
An Allegheny Alligator.
Here's another one that is already disqualified, I can tell you. Mud Dog.
Yeah.
This is a connection of Devil Dog and Mud Devil, Mud Dog. No, that's not cool.
And the Mud... y'all remember when Bobby Boucher showed up at halftime and the Mud Dogs won the
Mud
Bourbon
Dog
Bowl?
won the Bourbon Bowl. We've got Water Dog.
Weak.
We've got Spotted Water Gecko.
Too much.
It's
too
like
many
they're trying to be
syllables.
too cool, and then it's not a gecko. That's a gecko is a lizard.
Yes.
This is an amphibian we're talking about here, and Laverian water newt.
That's like the fancy version.
That's like in Harry Potter when they go and they're like, yes. For today's class at Hagrid's hut, I will need you all to please concoct a Laverian water newt.
You know the Winnie the Pooh meme, and like the first one is just him chilling,
yes.
and then the second one he's like sophisticated.
Sophisticated.
Mud Dog, Laverian water newt. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna have to make that meme for the tweeter this week.
Yeah, that would be good. More memes relevant to the show that people will watch and they'll be like, what are they talking about? So far, I think that some of the winners here are Snot Otter, Lasagna Lizard, Allegheny Alligator, and Laverian water newt. So what do you think is the number one here?
I think Snot Otter just sticks out to me, but I also love Allegheny Alligator.
Yeah, it's a tie-up because first of all, otters are freaking cute.
Yeah, they are.
And if you cover an otter in snot,
It's not. They just look like, when you look at a hellbender, they just look like you would like try to squeeze them.
yeah,
and they would just pop
be like
right
those
through
little
your hand.
those little things that they give you as kids.
Yeah, and it would just keep going,
They
and
just
it's
keep
like
going.
Gulper, and it would just keep like just flipping through your hands.
I like the snot otter.
The snot otter just seems to have a resounding lead.
It's followed by Allegheny alligator, which is a close second. Close second, just because of that alliteration. Lasagna lizard, I find that to be delightful. Also,
Yeah.
alliteration, and it reminds me of a little limp noodle of lasagna.
Yep.
Followed by Laverian water newt. The rest are not worth mentioning, outside of maybe Grampus, but I have no clue how they got to how they were like Grampus.
Grampus.
Look at that Grampus.
I agree.
Gulper.
Gulper. That wasn't my best one. Gulper.
So here's the thing. Now, here's the second part of this. This is
the second part of this.
This is like the subverted expectation I'm about to throw.
Okay.
I'm about to throw at you. So, I've got this certification in cryptozoology now.
Yeah, you're gonna hold that over my head.
Well, I'm not going to hold it over your head. I'm just telling you that I'm qualified now, so that hellbenders are so. What's the word? They're so infrequent, and hellbender is like the official name of the hellbender. But a lot of in my studies of cryptids, a lot of things end up being real, like giant squids turned out like krakens and stuff. Like there are such thing as giant squids, and they found like humongous squids that ended up being real.
Yes.
And there's a lot of explanations for things. So what I want to pitch to you,
Okay.
what if we made the hellbender a cryptid?
I think it should be
And we called it the snot otter.
the snot otter,
And that's its cryptid name,
Y'all
So
saying a snot otter?
it's like, the Mothman could have an official name if it was ever, discovered or what have you.
right? Yeah.
Yes.
The meme is made.
I see that you have made the Laverian water new.
Is that how you spell it?
It's with an E. Lev.
Say no more.
Lever Ian.
Say no more.
Lever Ian. So the Hellbender cryptid that we are now calling Snot Otter. That's my next goal is I'm going to research the Snot Otter and go forth and have our podcast be the center of what we have our cryptid be the Snot Otter, because all of these cryptozoologists have like a thing that they contribute to the community of cryptozoology.
You have to like arrive on the scene in style.
Right.
You have to like make your presence known that, hey, I too am a cryptozoologist.
Just right.
Yeah.
And so we can, there's a lot of like early sightings of these things, and salamanders are already in kind of the cryptozoology world a little bit.
Yeah.
So I think West Virginia's newest cryptid should be the snot otter.
I do too.
And I think that it brings
What a fun.
What do you
little
think?
guy.
What do you think it brings? Like, do you think it brings like good fortune or like?
Yeah.
Like,
I think that if you see it, you get 10 years of good luck.
10 years good luck.
But if you don't, like, what was the old like MySpace? Like,
Yeah, if you don't-
your mom will die at midnight. Like some weird like consequence.
A girl will kill you at midnight. or something like
someone
that.
will be over your bed at 4 a.m. and kill you.
stab you in
Yeah.
the heart.
So the snot otter, they're opposite sides of the spectrum. You see it, you get that
The
luck.
snotter.
If you don't see it, you die at 4 a.m. That makes it scary, but also beneficial to find.
That's true. And you know what? They're primarily nocturnal creatures, so that could have some sway on it.
Yep.
I'm team snot otter.
I like snot otter.
so much that we've got Gulper. We've got
Allegheny alligators sounds like a high school team.
yeah.
I like it, but
The
it's
Allegheny
just a little
alligators.
too like Allegheny high alligators, you know?
Yeah. Allegheny high alligators. Woohoo. So that's what I'm thinking is from here on out, I would like to install the snot otter
Yes.
as a cryptid that we all love and we all know that brings good fortune. Found in the rivers of West Virginia.
Yeah.
And how do you know it's not a hellbender? You don't. Could be a hellbender.
Could be.
Could be a snot otter. Are they the same thing? Maybe they are.
It's for you to find out.
That's for you to find out. This is all about the stories that we share.
Yeah.
You know?
Don't worry. If you don't find out, you get murdered at 4 a.m. It's cool.
And here's how. And here's not only my. So I have this, of course, my diploma. But as a kid, I would even sit. I would go to the creek back on Winter Creek Drive in Bluefield. To go to the creek, and I would spend my summers digging through the creek looking for crawdads and salamanders.
Oh, I remember those days.
And I would find them, and I would put them in little habitats and poke holes in the top so they get some oxygen. Mm-hmm. And most of the time they died. But the other times I would sell them to the local fishermen in the neighborhood, and they would use them as bait for fish.
You're just a young entrepreneur.
I'm just like, I was a friend of the salamanders. I was at least like somebody who was down, and I was down like hands and knees with the salamanders.
Just brick by brick, you built your empire.
I did. That's true.
Salt of the earth.
Well, to move on, we've got some mail from the Cryptid Club from...
Is it my boy?
It's your boy, Steven.
My boy, Steven.
Your boy, Stefan? I'm not sure. Steven. All right.
That's my boy.
Wrote in, sent us a few things on the Discord in the cryptozoology section of it. You can get on there. The invite's on our link tree. If you click the link below this podcast, you can come talk on our Discord. We've got a number of different topics we talk about. I think this week we've talked a little bit about injured cold, a little bit about...
Nobody responded to me when I sent a photo, though.
Of injured cold?
Not of injured cold. I was at Camden Park over the weekend. And I sent a picture.
You sent a picture of you in the car. Did you go in Camden Park?
No, it was closed. I'm no trespasser. What do you think I am? It was like midnight.
You didn't have midnight strolls around Camden Park? Like wax some scorched?
No, but it was kind of weird because it really legit looks like
it looks like something out of the Fallout. Yeah, it does. Yeah.
I'm pulling up and I'm like, I can see scorch just laying all over this parking lot.
Yep. Yeah. All the plastic trays and cups
we have fun
and such.
I've been contributing finally to Discord.
That's good. I'm glad to see you on there.
Yeah.
I tagged you in a post talking about injured cold, which people didn't understand why you're afraid of injured cold.
Dog, I don't understand how people aren't afraid of him. This man showed up over a little girl's bed that's the connection. Injured cold is
That's the thing. If you don't see the Hellbender, injured cold.
So you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. You're going to see a cryptid one way or the other. Injured cold really is the gift that keeps giving.
I'm glad that I decided that this is the path that we're going.
Yeah.
This is a good path. I feel good about our life right now. You know,
Yeah.
I think we're really out there making waves.
Yeah, I think we are
Get
too.
it? Yeah, making waves. Hellbenders. God. So Steven wrote in about a particular cryptid up near where he's from. So this is the Beast of Bowden Moor, also known as the Beast of Bowden, is a phantom wildcat purported to live in Cornwall, England. Bodemere Moor, I'm probably mispronouncing everything, but it's fine because guess what? We're in West Virginia. Bodemere Moor became a center of purported sightings after 1978, with occasional reports of mutilated slain livestock. The alleged panther-like cats of the same region came to be popularly known as the Beast of Bodemere Moor. It has been claimed that the animal trainer Mary Chipperfield released 3 pumas into the wild following the closure of her Plymouth Zoo in 1978.
Hey, what are you doing?
And that the subsequent sightings of these animals gave rise and rumors of the beast.
Can't just release pumas?
Pumas?
Who's that just releasing pumas?
That's what I was wondering. It's like, oh, zoo's closed. What are we going to do with these animals?
Yeah.
I'll let them loose.
It's like, the Ogleby Zoo up in Wheeling. I just closed. Yeah. What'd they do? Oh, they just released everything into the city. Yeah, it's like the end of the new Jurassic Park movie.
Yes.
Well, spoiler alert.
Spoiler
where,
alert.
like, they're just out and about, and like, everyone's just like, yep, I guess this is life now.
This is life.
We just live with dinosaurs. Like, no. I'm sorry. You take them things down. You don't just let pumas out. You know, I mean,
we got like giraffes, lemurs.
Yeah. You can't just let pumas out into the wild. Oh, yeah. Mom, I had to come inside for playing soccer because there was literally a puma in the driveway. I didn't want to die.
Sorry.
Like, Mary.
Like the shoes, no, Mom. The puma.
Jeez Louise.
So
unbelievable.
The Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries, and Food conducted an official investigation in 1995. The study found that there was no verifiable evidence of exotic felines loose in Britain and that the mauled farm animals could have been attacked by common indigenous species. The report stated no verifiable evidence for the presence of a big cat was found. There is no significant threat to the livestock from a big cat in Bodmin Moor.
Shout out to Barstool Big Cat. There. Made me think of him. But no, there is... That sounds like they just didn't want to admit that old Mary let loose pumas in the wild. They're covering up for her.
So, less than a week after the government report, Boy was walking by River Fowey when he discovered a large cat skull measuring about 4 inches, 10 centimeters long by 7 inches, 18 centimeters wide. The skull was lacking its lower jaw, but possessed 2 sharp, prominent canines that suggested that it might have been a leopard. The story hit national press at about the same time of the official denial of alien big cat evidence of Bodmin Moor. So they literally were like, there's no alien big cat. And this kid by the river was like, hey, look at this giant cat skull I found. And the guys in the ministry are like,
Oh, God.
dang it.
Yeah, that's
Messed up, boys. We messed up.
classic mistake. Rookie mistake.
So
But yeah, it's... Man, that's funny.
The skull itself was sent to the Natural History Museum in London for verification. They determined that it was a genuine skull from a young male leopard, but also found that the cat had not died in Britain and that the skull had been imported as part of a leopard skin rug. The back of the skull was cleanly cut off in a way that is commonly used to mount the head on a rug. There was an egg case inside the skull that had been laid by a tropical cockroach that could not possibly be found in Britain. There was also cut marks in the skull indicating the flesh had been scraped off with a knife and the skull had begun to decompose only after a recent immersion in water.
That's pretty gnarly.
So it didn't end up being one of the cats, but you know, when you find a big cat skull, you want to be like, hey, I found a big cat skull.
I just want to talk to Mary. I
be
want to
like,
know,
yo, Mary.
why did you release 3 pumas into the wild? Just out and about.
You wanna do a what do they call it? When DJs they have a song and they want to do, you want to do the remix of Who Let the Dogs Out.
No, I want to talk to Mary face to face, and I want to tell her how stupid that was that she just let those pumas go. I feel like, you know what? Those were her pumas.
Those are her. She had responsibility.
I feel
over
like
those
Billy
pumas.
Madison. Listen. You got 3 pumas. You got a responsibility. You don't just let them out and just let them go. God. That just angers me. I don't know.
Oh, well,
Imagine, though, having 3 pumas as pets, though. Imagine that'd be pretty dope.
I mean,
They were trained.
At that point, aren't you like a character in Game of Thrones at that
Yeah.
point? You know?
Oh, yeah. That would be... I picture Euron having pumas.
Pumas.
Like, he would be the one character that would be like, I got 3 pet pumas.
No, he's the one with the Monster Energy drink vending machine in the back of the ship. You know, I saw that meme you posted earlier.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Oh, man.
Anyways, thank you, Stephen, for
Thank you.
writing in. We always enjoy hearing.
Steven, if you
about-
can put me in touch with Mary, that'd be dope.
yeah, put us in touch with Mary. Get us an interview.
We'd love to bring Mary on the show.
Yeah, we love to bring Mary to the show and be like, hey, Mary, listen, we understand that you're probably 94,
we have
98.
concerns, though.
We have concerns.
We need to bring you to justice.
Yes. You shouldn't be letting your pumas out.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't know why I'm so
I don't let
concerned
my
about
dogs
these.
out without being on a leash. You know,
I don't know why I'm so concerned about these pumas, but it really just...
it really flies all over me. You know,
It really burns me up.
it's racing around my head. Mm-hmm. Well, with that, we will close out the show here. Don't forget to rate us on iTunes. Find us on Instagram and Twitter at Vault Boys Pod and Vault Boys Podcast. It's either one of those. I think Instagram is Vault Boys Podcast and Twitter is Vault Boys Pod. We're on Facebook as well. We post all of our links in there. You can check the link down in the description to find all the links to our social media, all the different platforms we're on. Find a Discord as well. Join in on the conversation. And don't forget that you can email us at vaultboyswv@gmail.com. We're still accepting emails. We're still going to read them off here as we get them. But other than that, I think that's it for this week. So I hope that you all enjoy your week. And from Holler to Highway, we've got you covered.
6 ways to Sunday.
Oh, there he goes.
Gulper.